La. Let the ism go. Ism's going to destroy the planet. I'm sorry I couldn't come on yesterday. I was driving back, had to go see some family. The discussions I get in with my family, oh my goodness. It's always fun. Probably just like the discussions you get in with your family. If you believe in like round earth, you believe in round earth stuff, you want to be well-rounded, you listen to all sides of things, and you got family that just pick and choose sides, and they pick and choose the science, and they pick and choose the facts they want to follow. Oh man, I love my family to death. It's a whole lot of flat earthers in my family though. A whole lot of metaphorical flat earthers. See, I couldn't post a video yesterday. I was actually on the road. I don't want to do a road live stream. I watch people do that. I don't think that's a great idea. I think 99% of the time it'll be fine. You'll be driving, nothing will happen. But if something happens, you know. So I don't want to post from the road. So I posted a Peter Joseph video I want you guys to watch. Good morning. Who we got this morning? Got Heaven. Heaven's in the house. First one in the house. First one in the house. We got Sherry and Sister Ann and Sister Alicia, Glenn. We got Dana and Lynn and Shane and oh, Ty up in out. Ty, what you doing up this early? Uh-oh. Ty and this. What you up early for? You supposed to be out. You supposed to be asleep because you out partying. I'm convinced you don't sleep. Brother Joel and Stephanie and Mary. All right. Let me get my YouTube going right in my mouth. So I couldn't post one yesterday. I think Ty posted one around that time. I think I was driving. I saw something like that. So there's always someone to watch. Always something to watch. Always stick with the integrity. But I was thinking about a few things. It was a good weekend, a lot of good conversations, whole lot on my mind. I'm not sure how I can crunch it all up and spit it all out. I do the best that I can. And that Peter Joseph video was amazing. Introduced me to another brother that has a project similar to the Zeitgeist movement in Ireland and the UK called this is called the Free World, Open World, One World, something like that. I think I posted this video this morning. Deep brother, I watched his. So it was just an introduction. All of these ideas are on sustainable systems. Everything has to be sustainable, you guys. Everything has to be sustainable. I appreciated the Peter's last video because he was talking about I forgot the best way he put it, but so what did I do? Again, I was a software engineer, and so I'm all on building systems, right? Modeling. You know, when you build a system, it has to be sustainable. And this is what I was thinking about this morning. Like, think about the engine. The engine, why does the engine work? The engine is a phenomenal thing, right? It works, it runs in everything, whether electric or gas, man, these things, they just keep going and going. You can get in a car and ride all over America, ride all over Europe, ride all over Africa, UK, everywhere. You can go in the jungle with them. You can just, I mean, they save lives, they keep going because we developed the piston and the combustion engine to work in a methodical way, right? The users, if it broke down, they wouldn't buy it. The crankshaft cracked a lot, of the seals leaked, we don't have nothing to do with it. And I got a lot of things I want to talk about, so I'm going to put these all out here in front of you guys. Let y'all tell me what you think. But sustainable systems, right? From the very basic, the bottom, they got to work. Why does a car work? Why are cars so reliable? You know, we don't really get in our cars anymore and wonder when they're going to break down. You know, my first car was a Volkswagen Bug, 1974. It was red when I bought it. It was red when it was brand new. When I bought it, it was pink. Because that's what happens to red over time. It becomes pink. Had a hole in the floorboards. And I remember driving down the road. You look down. I bought it for $500. You look down and you can see the ground going by because the floorboards used to rot out in them. But the engine was solid. Engine was solid. In fact, by the age of 18, I rebuilt my first engine. I built my it was easy to do. Volkswagen Bugs were real simple. You get your JC Whitney catalog, order your parts. I know you guys don't. That's too, yeah, I know. They're like, rebuilding engines. The hell is wrong with him? Is he a mechanic? No. I was just born in a time where we fixed things. We did things. We were sustainable. We didn't throw everything away. So Here's the thing that I think we need to think about. The car works because we demanded it to work. We got tired of cars breaking down. We got tired. I know I got tired. We didn't have cell phones back then. I remember breaking down on the side of the road. I had to go to sleep in the car, 3 o'clock in the morning, coming home from work. I had to just go to sleep. Luckily, my family sent out a search party to come find me. So we bought cars that worked. We voted, if you will. We supported the cars that worked. We supported the car because they were developing the engines to be sustainable. I suspect our world model is not sustainable. The Earth model sustainable. Y'all see the ants and the aphids behind me? We're going to talk about that a little bit too. The Earth is sustainable down to the smallest cell. Sustainable systems. They all work together. They evolved from the bottom up. They evolved from single cell organisms into multicellular organisms. Eventually you had mammals and stuff, and the aliens came and stitched in the second chromosome, made humans. That's my belief. I can believe whatever you want. Y'all, I call them Jesus, Buddha, Shiva. I'm fine with that. Aliens. But the system was built from the bottom up, and it's sustainable. And so the car works. It's a phenomenal thing. The engine is just the workhorse behind it. If you get the base components of your system and they're sustainable and they work well, whatever that thing is, you're gonna have a great time with it. But if the basis of your system is busted, or if no one even worried about the base of the system, the driving cogs of your system, you're gonna have a lot of trouble, right? And as I know, people they started, there's going to be some communism, there's going to be some socialism, there's going to be some capitalism. No, it's not. All of those systems work well when they're deployed in the places they do a good job at. When they're deployed into places they suck at, your car is going to suck. Your society is going to suck, and your earth is going to collapse. Like a lot of things, I was looking at the news, and I'm going to do my best to avoid Trump today. I want to go 24. Can we do, y'all, world, can we do like 48 hours and we not pat his ego for a little bit? Not that he's a bad guy or anything. It's just, we didn't have to talk about Obama. Like, we got to a point where Obama, it was obvious that he worked for the banks. Now we're getting to some places where it's obvious Trump is working for himself or the banks or somebody. He's not working for the poor. He's not working for the people. So don't follow everything. So he met with Russia. I don't talk nothing about that. But in Europe, what did Europe do? Europe just established a massive free trade deal amongst European countries that encompassed 600 million people. It's a good thing, right? Yeah, Europe, yeah, we got trade. No, I don't think so. I think that if your system at the base, if your communities don't work, your government won't work. If at the base you got it wrong and then you try to design at the top, it's definitely going to fail. So, you know me, I don't believe in world trade deals. I don't believe in, because I think this is all billionaire stuff, right? I don't think that there's anything on the news that's important, not for human beings. I think everything on the news is important for billionaires. And so if you get your world views from the news and from television, you might want to think about that a little bit. Because they control all of that, right? And if I'm a billionaire, we control all of that. Why in the world would I let the television on networks I control, banks that I run and take my loans from, why would I let them talk about anything that'll take money out of my pocket? It's not that I'm an evil cat, but I want what I have and I want more. But at the base, if you haven't solved the greed issue in Europe, all of that trading, that's just for billionaires. It's not for you. If your local economies don't work, if you don't have kids and people at the local level eating and sharing between each other, then that model should not be deployed on a regional, national, and definitely not multinational level. So I don't know why people are cheering that. But if things don't work on the local level, they won't work at the big level. And the earth works, right? Because behind they got ants and aphids. Ants and aphids, they work really well together on your plants. Sustainable systems, right? Like I talk about all the time. One of the biggest problems we have is our farmers, they don't know how to grow food. They have no idea. They're lost. They're just discombobulated, run amok, confused. Not because they're stupid, but because they're trained to be chemical farmers. If you go back to their granddaddies and their daddies and their great-great-great-granddaddies, go back further, they knew how to grow food, right? They grew from within the sustainable system of the earth, right? They respected the rules. They respected the laws of nature. They respected the fact that you can't roll out 10 million tomato plants in a field. It does not work. It's not supposed to work. Nature knows it's not supposed to work. You roll out a better example, because I want to stay on the topic. Better example. It's gonna feed back to the engine light. I know that's the name of the title. I'm gonna do that. Just give me a minute. Better example. Avocados. I gotta think about one I have trouble with. Avocados, aphids, they love the sugars in the avocado plant. The sugar in that cambium layer, oh, they just love it. Aphids, they just farm it. And aphid, think of you know what the aphids are? Y'all know what the aphids are? The aphids are the black ones. I know that's kind of racist, but they are. In this picture, they're the black ones there, and then the brown ones up there. I don't do race, so I don't care nothing about none of that. And so what they do is they're drilling machines. They're little drilling. Their component, their job is to suck the sugars out of the plant, right? They have no natural defenses. They have no military. They have no drones. They can't defend themselves. The ants can. The ants learned over a period of time that they can pick up an aphid. They can put it on a tree. The aphid will suck up so much sugar to a point where it just can't take it anymore. And it expels sugar out its back. I think it might be its anus. I'm not sure. I didn't look that close. But the ant sucks the sugar. So the ant learned how to use the aphid in a sustainable way where it will farm it. It protects its eggs. It grows them. Yes, ants are deep. The ants, man, you look at ants run the planet. That's another whole topic. They will farm the aphid eggs. They will bring them out as babies and they'll put them on the plants that they call pupae, and they'll protect them. How do you know your plant has aphids? Because you'll see ants all over them. And if you see ants all over them, they're protecting the aphids. They are a sustainable system. At the local level, they have sustainability. So at the world level, one of the biggest species on this planet is ants, which is why I say when the aliens come, they're not going to come talk to us. We aren't that significant. We're not significant. If you really think about it, if you think about a species of alien that might be 1 billion years old, why in the hell would it come here and talk to us? We drive cars, man. Cars are amazing technology. Ants use technology too. They call us sticks. They farm. They just like we do. They do the same things we do. And guess what? They are everywhere on this planet. They dominate the planet. If the aliens pull up and say, you know what? We need to talk to the species that runs the planet. Who has the most numbers? Who has the biggest? It's always going to be the ants. If they show up and they want to say, who's working as a collective? We want to know the most intellectual species on the planet. Which ones are working together as a collective for their community? It's the ants. They all work together. They don't murder each other. They do the things that they're supposed to do. They are a sustainable system. The aliens show up. Which species makes up the large mass of body? It's the ants. Once again, they developed sustainable systems from the base, which is why the ants have been here since the dinosaurs, and they'll be here afterwards. They know how to build a sustainable system at the base. And here's our biggest problem. We can too. We can too. I'm not down in humans. I'm not down in humans. We kind of smart. We kind of smart. We can figure it out. All right, here's our biggest problem. This is my example. Here's our biggest problem. The check engine light comes on in the world. This is what check engine light. Y'all drive cars. This is what the check engine looks like. My friends in countries, y'all don't drive cars. I'm sorry, but when you drive a car, you got this little red light that comes on in our little privileged world where we drive cars that got lights that tell us when the engine needs work. When that check engine light comes on, do you take your car to the mechanic and you say, can you fix my car? Like something is wrong with the engine. I don't want it to break down. I want it to work. Please take care of my car. I got to carry my babies to daycare, bring them back, pick them up. Or do you take it to the mechanic and say, can you take the bulb out the check engine light? It's bothering me. It's annoying me. I don't want to see it. Can you just get rid of that damn light? I suspect the right thing to do, what you do with your car, because you want a sustainable car, you want to get to work back, you want it to work. You don't want your kids to get trapped in the back seat on a 93 degree day or 105. What was it in Arizona the other day? 115. You don't want your kids to get trapped in that car when you're going to work. Is not the check engine light on? Has the check engine light not come on for the earth? I think it has. Are we not going into the next extinction? I know that we are. Do we not have poverty all over the world? Do we not have kids crying out for help? Do we not have babies dying? Do we not have people who, if they had food, if they had some sort of, I don't want to say healthcare, I hate that word, that's the wrong word, but if they had holistic care, if they actually had healing devices, they would live. The check engine light comes on. And how does our society respond? Because we are largely unsustainable. How do we respond when the check engine light comes on? Because you know how people say, oh, well, poverty's going down and more people are getting food and blah, 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 blah. That, and a lot of that's true. But I have a theory. I think that's because we murder the people. I think it's because we shut off the check engine light. I think if you cry and complain too much and you got a lot of resources in your country and you don't have a military, I think that somebody comes along and murders you. It's not always us. It's not always the West. I mean, we funnel weapons and guns all over the planet, but it could be people there locally. That check engine light comes on. It's annoying. You don't want to see it. It's getting in the way of your profits. If people in the West start paying attention to that check engine light, kids starving in the Congo, oh no, you can't have that, because then they might want to change the system. They might want to do some modifications to what you got going on and your profit, your bottom line, which is why I don't think prime ministers and presidents and congresses and these things, I don't think they actually run themselves. I don't think they run the world. So when that check engine light comes on, you send some drones, you send your military, you just turn it off and you keep the unsustainable system going. So what happens down the road to that car? Eventually that car breaks down because you actually didn't fix the problem. And this is why I love Peter Joseph and these guys. This is why I always look at things like somebody mentioned a minute ago, the Venus Project. I look at nature, great example, sustainable systems. You know, some of the smarter species like the ant, some of the species that figured out if you build a system right from the base and the smallest components are sustainable, the biggest components can be sustainable. If you build a government, a society, a earth, and you have sustainable local communities, you have sustainable local families. And what is the base element? Right? What is the base element? I think I talk too fast. Somebody told me sometimes. I had these thoughts, they're going through my head. But if you get it right at the local level, then you build up into a bigger system that works. But you got to get it right at the local level. And when I say the local level, I'm not really saying like farmers market. I mean, I am saying that, but that's pretty high. How about the base level? How about babies? How about human beings? What if human beings were the base component within our system? I always look at the resource-based economies, gift-based economies, economies or systems that prioritize the base element, people. People. You watch Peter Joseph talk. I posted there yesterday. You would know what I'm talking about in terms of the Chilean government and the I forgot his name. I forgot the president that we overthrew. He was coming up with these sustainable ideas, a design of a society that wasn't socialism, capitalism, communism, wasn't any of the isms. But the basis of the system was human beings. When human beings get what they want, your society goes the right way. You get the base component right. And then you can go higher and talk about all the other silly stuff. You can talk about local governing. You can talk about, if that's the right word, I'm not even sure that's the word. Because when you have freedom, people are happy. When you take care of the next generation, when you make sure the check engine light gets dealt with, the root cause gets resolved. Your kids don't end up in a hot car in 115 degrees in Arizona. When you take care of the next generation, you know, and ants are known for this. They all work together. Every ant in the hill will give its last breath. Do ants breathe? I don't know. I got some entomologist friends. Y'all can let me know. But to their last breath, I'm gonna say they do. They will defend the next generation to the core. The ant doesn't say, you know what, but my retirement, but I need to make money because of this, but I gotta pay my mortgage, but. Human farming and fear, right? When you prioritize the next generation over yourself, over what you can get, when you prioritize your kids, your neighbor's kids, the other country's kids, when you prioritize making the next generation stronger, we get to say, we get to stay. When you focus on sustainable systems only, sustainable design only, this is why I'm saying education, in the education system, every Every school on this planet needs to have a course in sustainability and critical thought, root cause analysis, and problem solving. When you actually have that, you will start cranking out ants. You will start cranking out human beings that are methodical as ants. When you start having, like there was a good talk I was listening to, the lady was talking about sharing at the local level. They have these little buildings set up where the kids share toys. That's what it is, kind of like a daycare, but it's like a community where all the kids go in, and today they're gonna take this toy, they take it home, they play with it, have fun, whatever, and the next day they bring it back, they put the toy back, some other kid can pick it up and they get the next toy and they take it home. They're taking away this concept of mine. Mine. I know it sounds like a kid thing, I know, but I live in a country the adults do it all day long. I sit back here and I listen all day long. Like they're talking politics, they're talking universal basic income and gun rights and you got to watch the darn Christians and you got to, we got to make sure we roll these projects forward and trust in the system and trust in the science and we got to move forward. And all of I see a business class and very, very greedy, selfish people, mini greeters, I call them. Mine, right? Like Finding Nemo. Instead of ours. I know, you're going to get into your ism. Oh, that sounds like an ism. No, it's not an ism. Ours. If you look at the sustainable species on the planet, the ones that always make it, they develop sustainable systems to ensure that they do. But we don't. We don't even look at the warning light. It's not even that at the base level, localism, it's still an ism, but at the base human level, we don't even look at the warning lights. So it's not even that we try to fix kids and make them better in the next generation. What we do is we take kids and we indoctrinate them and we teach them that they should say mine, and work for a corporation. Mine, and you get more. Mine. To a point where they get to adults and they still say that. They say it in different ways. Retirement, collection. Brother Terry said bees. Yes, another good example. Sustainable systems at the base, the core. I always lean on the neuroscientists. I always fall back on behavioral scientists. We have professionals that spend an awful lot of time developing solutions, identifying problems. We just lack, maybe it's the will to roll them out. We know what happens when all the human beings have what they want. We know what happens when kids are raised to work as a collective in a community. We know what happens when their brains are cultivated instead of corrupted into believing in race and isms and Christian and religion isms and nationalisms instead of just maybe a local or a humanism. We know what happens. Look at the world. The check engine light is on and we're not doing anything about it, which was why it was a good talk by that brother yesterday I posted, because he was talking about how do we move? Because I think most people know that the world is sick. Most people know that this can't continue. And I agree with those people. And those people I get. Those people I want to listen to. The folks who still want to keep saying mine and they want to keep fighting to keep things the way they are, I don't really understand them. I don't understand how their mind works. I don't understand. Like we got to stop fussing and fighting. Like I see everyone still, I see y'all still getting fights over MMT and blockchain and what comes next. Those are discussions that we need to have, right? I think we need to focus on the utopia, where we want to get to, knowing that utopia never comes. But we passed that point a long time ago, where we could make sure that everybody has what they need. We could take socialism, communism, capitalism, all the isms you got, the good components of those systems, and roll it up into something that could be phenomenal. Which is why the president of Chile was trying to do that and the CIA killed him. You can't have no new world models. You can't have that. You cannot have a working, you imagine if Chile actually developed a system, modeled a system that actually worked and people were free and it all worked together and they worked as a collective anthill Chile would take over the whole damn world. We would all want to convert to that system. We all would want to be free and have liberty, you know. And so when a check engine light comes on your planet, you're supposed to listen. Check engine light comes on in your society. Check engine light on my country is red and it's flashing. It's like this. You got poor kids dying everywhere. You have adults running around here acting a damn fool. The check engine light is on socially, economically, politically, all of these things. Ecosystem wise, the red light is on. It's flashing. Look at some comments. Sustainable solutions. Like none of this to me, none of it works if one big mouth person like me is out here saying stuff, right? We don't need leaders. And I don't want anyone to think that I'm like trying to tell you what to do. Somebody said that one day. I don't care. If you don't watch, you know, honestly, I don't care in terms of if we're supposed to make it, we'll make it. If we're not supposed to make it, then we ain't gonna make it. And I'm good with that. Whichever way my 7 billion brothers and sisters want to go, I'm good with. I prefer that we make it. I think that's a good idea. I think that tastes delicious in my mouth, but not telling you what to do. I'm asking you to kind of think about when you start looking at these systems, these solutions, always ask yourself, is this sustainable? Right? Is this sustainable? Will this make it? Will it make it long term? And it's at work, it's at your house, and your marriage, and everywhere. If it's not a sustainable thing, then maybe we shouldn't do it. It's like we were talking about plastic straws the other day. And what is it? In our country, we use enough plastic straws in one day to hook them all together and like circle the earth 2.5 times. It's not sustainable. It's stupid. You know, it's not like we don't have good solutions. Oh, yeah, I was thinking about one of the brothers. Who said that? I think it was Mark. Mark is funny as hell. He said, you know, he said, like, what did he say? I had to go back to the thread. I was laughing my butt off. He said, you know, we got to come up with other ways to get things in, get liquids in our mouths. So something like that. I was rolling. It was the funniest thing. And it's just like, we have glass straws. We have, there's a different type of cup. Why are we still making plastic straws? Because we're still buying them. We still go to the McDonald's and the Burger King that use them. It's like the whole engine model. Why do we have a sustainable engine today? Engines that can do 400,000 miles because we didn't buy the crap. If your politician is handing you crap, don't buy it. If your politician is handing you an unsustainable solution, say no. It's that simple. It's not a hard, complex thing, but it means that you got to get outside of your ism. You got to get outside of your tribalism. You got to get outside of turning down good systems because they didn't come from somebody that you like. That's what will end the world. That's the problem. Ants, they don't have any of that. Ants are born. It's like, you know, what are you? What are you? Let's fight. Let's get, you know, I'm stand on my side. You stand. I was like, listen, we got a collective. We got some babies. We need to take care of them. We need to go farm some aphids. You need to go fight these people. You know, the farmers out there farming. The collectors are collecting. The scouts are out there doing what the scouts do. They run into trouble. They come home. They tell that, you know, they lead a gas. What they lead at that entrail gas stuff that on the ground. The other ants pick it up. The army ants go out there to fight. That's why they make it. They're smart enough to be a collective. It really is that simple. If you look at the species that don't work together as a collective, they all go extinct. Good morning, Ish. Great. Oh, I'm back. I didn't go anywhere, Ish. I ain't go nowhere. I had to go see family. I'm not even gonna tell you the discussions I got into. There was some good discussions. I think they were thinking. I found out I'm Cherokee. I love it. I got some I always kind of knew. But I confirmed, got a little Cherokee, a little lady in my family. So I'm good. I'm happy with that. So y'all got to tell me what I'm supposed to do. Anybody got a good documentary? I want to know some more about my ancestors, what they were up to. There's a street community in Australia who pulled together and bought tools they all could use. Yes, good example. All kept in a communal shed. Yes, and that's what we used to do, Ish. That's what we used to do in America, too. We would have... Everybody had a shed in the backyard, most people, and you had tools, and your neighbors had tools, and the other neighbor had tools, and people still do this today. My family still does it today. And everybody didn't go out and buy their Dremel, right? If you had a Dremel, there's no reason for me. Why would I buy a Dremel? You already have a Dremel. I got a lawnmower. You don't have a lawnmower. So when it's time for you to mow your grass, hey brother, can I borrow that lawnmower? Sure, here you go. Boom, take it, gone. You know, when I need a Dremel, I come borrow your Dremel, because it's like the wasting, outside of the fact that all this stuff is built on slave labor and minerals from conflict minerals, but we have these things and they're wasting away in sheds. So we always used to do that. And I think we have to start going back to that share model. We have to really start getting out of this mine. Because if you think about it, think about all the tools that get thrown away. Think about all the cars, all the things that are repeated, house to house to house to house to house, because everybody has to have their own and lick it, put a little sticker on, that's mine. It's just crazy stuff. I think about that, Ish. My mama, she used to put her name on our drawers when we were kids. Gerard's drawers. Those are mine, because you didn't want them getting mixed up with your brother's drawers. That's just nasty. But, you know, we used to... I'm not sure we should be sharing drawers, but you know, we are in this time where everybody has to have everything of their own. It has to have their name on it, and they don't want to share. And if they share it with you, you got to pay them. You gotta give them something back, as opposed to, no, we're on this planet, we're on an ecosystem, we're within one, and if we don't work together, the externalities, right, they are going to destroy the planet. Like, that's one of Peter Joseph's words, big word, externalities. You know what that was, the study into corporations and how none of them are profitable. None of them, not one of them. Every last one are completely unsustainable because they have uncounted externalities. You know, I don't know, the aluminum company has excess aluminum, where they throw the shavings in a hole in the ground. Trash, you know, they have smog that they leak out into the air. And when you like take into account all of the externalities of all these massive corporations, none of them in terms of an ecosystem on our planet are actually profitable. That they're all losing profit. We think they're profitable, but who's paying the price is the environment. And that's why we're in one of those extinctions, because the check engine light is on. Right? Check in. Boop. Corporations aren't profitable. This is not a good thing to support. You should not be cheering this. You should not be investing your retirement in this thing. You shouldn't, if you can control it, don't work for this thing. Don't buy anything from this thing. This corporation is not sustainable. The model's not sustainable, but we keep voting. We keep supporting it instead of building an engine that actually works with the camshaft and the pistons that actually do what they're supposed to do. We're like voting, we're working for, we're investing in an engine that's barely putting. Y'all remember Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? Anybody remember Chitty? Y'all remember Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? We love you. And oh, everywhere you go. I remember that. I forgot the song, but it was funny. You know, but so we're investing in a car that's like backfiring, blowing up, fire in the hood. You know, check engine lights coming on, smoke and smog coming out. You know, it's just, and we're still driving the damn thing. Like, no, we're going to get there. We're getting there. We're going to keep driving. We're going to keep driving. You know, cut the light, take out the LED. And we just have to become smarter. We are driving chitty chitty bang bang. We are driving chitty chitty bang bang. And we got our kids in the back, right? We're going on a long trip. We don't know where the human race is going. We got the kids behind us, our kids, our grandkids, and we're driving chitty chitty bang bang. The thing is popping and pooping and pow, bzz, bzz, smoke, all kind of electric fires in the hood. Oh, we okay? We're good. Let's keep going. Come on, let's invade another country. You know, check engine light comes on. Somebody send some drones, destroy that country, get the oil. We're good. Let's keep going, France. So, all right. Let me look at some of the comments. Sustainable systems. Pay attention to the check engine light in your society, your life, your marriage. Oh, that's one. Your marriage, relationships with your friends. Oh, wow. Think about the left and the right. Is not their ignorance a check engine light? Their increasing, extreme, ignorant ability to focus on the actual problems in the world. I bet if I click on the news right now, I bet you I will see, you know what the news is? I can tell you the majority of the words on that news page that has all my news. It's going to be T. There's going to be a lot of T's. It's going to be a whole bunch of R's. It's going to be a bunch of U's. It's going to be a bunch of M's, a bunch of P's. There's going to be a whole bunch of P's, because there'll be more P's and a whole bunch of more U's and some T's, I-N. Why? Because they got together and they met. And instead of talking about the people around the world that die every day, what is that statistic? How many seconds where a child dies of starvation on our planet? Something like every 3 seconds. What is a woman raped? Something like every 9 seconds, something stupid like that. The last statistic I read. We don't want to fix that. We don't want to think about that. We don't want to talk about that. No, let's talk about Trump. Let's talk about Putin. Let's fight. Let's go back and forth. That is a massive check engine light. You know what? I mean, just think about it. You're just walking down the street, somebody on the right or the left, or whatever ignorant political parties you have in your nation, if they're talking about billionaires, trade deals, making billionaires more money, and you see like a child over there with his belly bulging, skinny arms, and it's about to die, a little toddler. And on the same side, and you got a ham sandwich, you got your lunch, you walk into work, and you just look past that kid. I don't even look at that kid. You look over there, Trump and Putin fight, and you want to jump in the fight, start yelling about that. The check engine light is on. I think we go to the mechanic and say, you need to fix this. Elizabeth Warren is a Cherokee. Okay, I don't know who Elizabeth Warren is, to be honest with you, Ellen. Like I said, I don't do politics. The name is familiar, and the connections in my brain are saying it's not a good connection. that this person might be a psychopath. I have like a little sense thing that goes on, but I really don't know who these people are. But you can have Cherokee genetics and still be a psychopath, right? Like, because that's what it is. It's a warrior gene. And these politicians, you bring them up in these competitive political environments, and of course they're going to get to a place where they're going to be competing so bad they're going to have to stop looking past the starving kid over there. I can't look at that. I got to focus on this, because my team has to stay focused on getting Trump out. We hate the guy. My team has to be in there and do what the guy's doing, but it's us doing it, and it's okay. And they get the politicians even focused on it too. Let me see what we got. I have to go back in the comments. The elite don't care if this planet is dying. They have plans to turn it into a labor planet run by artificial intelligence. We are expendable, and they plan to move off the world. Terry, I believe you. I believe you, and it makes sense to me. Some people might say that's a conspiracy theory. Ask yourself, would you do the same? Terry, if I were a billionaire, I was born into that family, I was raised to be that way, hell yeah, why would I care about the planet? Like, I may not want to, the elephants to get hurt and go extinct and stuff like that, but I'm like looking at this planet like, listen, the billionaire community, how many of us? It's like a couple thousand of us. And the other ants, they're getting pissed off. The poor people, all those people with like $100 million and less, they're getting pissed off. Like, we're getting so good at what we're doing in our billionaire community that we have so much, we don't even know what to do with it. We give it away, we do whatever. Like, our banking system is designed so phenomenally well with fractional reserve banking and global banks and all still working and colluding with the queen. Like, we colonized the whole damn world, and we're making so damn much money. At a certain point in time, we know those ants are going to turn on us. We know the environment's failing and dying. I'm not going to stop competing with the other billionaires because we're destroying the planet, because that's the game. And that's what I'm trained to do. I'm a psychopath, warrior, genetic billionaire. I'm going to keep doing that. Now, the ants could stop me. The ants could stop us. But if the ants are too stupid, then I'm going to think, you know what? Not only are they not going to stop us, they're going to let us continue to funnel all the wealth from them, because they're going to fight over healthcare. They're going to fight over trade deals and personalities and identities. They're going to fight over whether or not to put black tape over the check engine light or take the diode, cut the diode or the LED wire. We're going to have to get off of this planet. That's what to me, that's not even conspiracy theory. That just is common damn sense. Right? And that's why I think Elon Musk, all he can do is try to make some ships as fast as possible so Earth can be, or the humans can be, a multiple planet species. And do you think they're going to invite us to Mars? You can get a little invitation in the mail. Y'all should come to Mars, poor people. Y'all people with less than $1 billion, y'all come up to Mars. Hang out with us for a little bit. No, they're not. You will not get, they will take their scientists, whatever, go hide out on Mars. This is what I would do. I'd hide out on Mars I'd get the best entomologists and growers and planters and scientists, everybody I needed, engineers and stuff, they'd all be my slaves, little bastards. I'd whip them every day. I keep them on Mars and let y'all just collapse the ecosystem. And when everything is done and y'all gone, y'all kill and murder each other, then we come back in the ship. Like, oh, look, Earth is nice and clean, fresh, is rebooting. Okay, well, let's pick an island that's clean. Look, Hawaii's untouched. We'll land on Hawaii. We'll just have a civilization there until the rest of the Earth is populatable. To me, it's not even a conspiracy theory. We are spinning out of control completely and utterly. And the only way that we pull it back, like I was saying in the video, he was talking about, well, what do we do? And I think he wrote a book called F World, F Earth, or F Day, the F Day. I think it stood for Freedom Day, the day that we actually free humanity. We free humanity from money. We free humanity from greed. We bring in compassionism as a government that's based in compassion and looking out for each other, because that's all the ants have, right? They don't have communism and capitalism, and they don't have socialism. They have compassionism. My conservative friends, you know what that's called? That might be called Jesusism. That might be called Mohammedism. That might be called Shiva and Buddhism, Quetzalcoatlism. That all the isms going back to the beginning. Yes, brother Glenn, Elysium. Right, exactly. That's exactly what they'll do. Because if it's not Mars, they're going to be building a big space station to get the hell out of here. If it's not a bunker underground, it'll be something else. Because the ecosystems are collapsing, and the only people that can stop it are the ants. The only people that can stop it are the soldiers, the peasants, the serfs, the ones that are marching and keeping the engine going by working for the corporations, building your retirement, and saving as much of that money stuff that you know is going away. The check engine light is flashing. And half the time, I think the billionaires, they get it. They understand. They're just sitting back like, okay, y'all gonna stop us? No, you're not gonna stop. Okay. Y'all gonna stop us? No, you're not gonna stop. Okay. Elon, yeah, make sure you got a seat for me. I think I might bring my niece and my nephews and okay, yeah, bring them. And are they waking up? No, it's still too stupid. They're not gonna stop us. And I think in its own right, that is one of the ways the Earth system works. The Earth system does work in that way. It does work in a way where the unsustainable systems have to go away. The unsustainable species have to go away. The species that are collapsing things for everybody else, they don't get to stick around. They got to go away. Otherwise, the Earth wouldn't be the sustainable system it is. It's important to remember that, what is it? 99.9% of all species on this planet, they're all gone. They ain't coming back. All right, let me get down to some more comments. They've been lying to us about everything. Yes, Ellen, that's why I don't believe anything. I don't believe anything. I don't care and I don't believe it. Like I don't listen to the politicians at all. For the most part, I watch them for comedy. That's about it. I watch them every now and then one of them might say something where they're like passing a hint. You know, I do think that, let me pull up comments in a different way so I can maybe go back in history. I think they all release a little bit of truth here and there, like when it comes to JFK and stuff like that, but it's all a lie. But that's a hard thing, Ellen, for people to swallow, isn't it? It's a hard thing for them to actually swallow the idea that all of our history is a lie. Everything we've been given from the very beginning is a lie. But you know what? It's a good thing, Alan. Let me tell you why it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Because we know, right? I think it might have been you. Somebody sent me the Edward Bernays stuff, or Brenda. Somebody sent it, Sandra. Somebody sent it to me. Edward Bernays stuff in propaganda. We know that our friends and family are being brainwashed, right? We know the left and the right. All the isms, they're just brainwashed people. I told my brother he wasn't black the other. He didn't know what to do. It was the funniest thing. A great conversation. If you can propagandize people to believe they are a colonizer's coding system done in 1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean blue. And the only reason I remember that is because I was indoctrinated to remember that. They put it in the song. And they called everybody what they called them based on groupings they wanted to give them outside of the fact that North America wasn't Indian. It was full of hundreds, if not thousands of tribes. Every continent was full of that. If you can brainwash people into wanting to not even know what they are, that they're Russian. You know, Russia doesn't exist. Russia never existed. It's a fantasy. It's artificial. If you can get people to adopt that, are you trying to tell me that we can't get them to adopt the idea of working as a collective? That's why it's good to me. Human beings are easily programmable. They're easily programmable. You just have to control the information that goes into them. So just as they can be brainwashed to be greedy little bastards, collecting as much as they can, saving for their retirement while people starve on the planet. I know it doesn't sound good. I know my view count goes down when I say stuff like that, but we have to think about it in that sense. It's easy to sit back and blame a billionaire for being greedy and having all of that, but if we're doing it too, we're just not doing it as well, then we're hypocrites. Then you can definitely do positive brain, I don't call it brainwashing, but brain fixing. Or not propaganda, but just the truth. What happens to species when they have everything they need? What do they become? We talk about the wolf and the dog and how the dog is domesticated. We solved its scarcity. It's the most friendly thing on the planet almost. You know, bonobos, same thing, same genetics as the chimp. They're peaceful, they're loving, they work together. The ants work together. Now they're still within systems of violence where they have to struggle and they have to kill. But are human beings, are we still in a world where we have to kill each other? Do we? When they develop, like y'all know me, I think the founding fathers had a great system. I think all of our Native American, my ancestors, y'all, my ancestors, we together, y'all. I think they had a great system. They all these systems, if they existed, there were good things about them. America had a phenomenal system, and it still does. But the problem is now that we've gone along, we've driven a car long enough, the check engine lights coming on. Europe had good systems. We've driven a car long enough, the check engine lights coming on. So it's time to upgrade that. It's time to move on to the next thing. Sheep have no brains. Ellen, I think they do. I just think that they're programmed. I think we're easily programmable. And some of us, we lucked up and maybe we just got busy in life and didn't watch television and the brainwashing wasn't sinking in. We didn't spend all that time on the smartphone. And so the coding wasn't doing what it's supposed to. And so the matrix code actually cleared up just enough that we could realize some bullshit, man. I think maybe we lucked up. I don't think it's that they don't have brains. It's that their brains are literally washed. And their whole world is built on embracing this model of taking what other people have. That's really what it is. This is why, like I said, my brother and I, we got into it. Hey, it's a slave mind. It is the slave mind. It is this colonizing mindset that it's okay to kill people and take what they have as long as it gives me a good retirement. That is not any of our people's heritage. And if there is a violent, super violent tribe that actually was in existence and that's what y'all did, we know that we don't have to do that anymore. Because when all those systems were created, they had to be created unsustainable, right? They had to be based on some of the bad things because we didn't have robots. We didn't have AI. We didn't have the ability to do these things. Speaking about that, another sustainable system. The mini drones. Remember we looked at the mini drones, how they work together as a hive, a collective. See, this is why you can't tell me that our governments don't understand this. They got those flying little drones that got the little caps that burst, that when they hit the human, they hit your head, they blow up right there and they blow up in your brain cavity, and they can use them to target you based on facial recognition. They can make swarms in the hundreds of thousands. I bet you they already have swarms of hundreds of thousands of these. And they can just get all your pictures, upload them. These are all the people that need to be killed. And all the drones will fly around. They act as a collective, a network. They share the data. the Internet of Things, where everything's a device. Y'all look into the cell phone. Who's the guy that has that idea about networking all cell phones so they all work together so you don't need cell towers? They're all little autonomous units. They share information. So if they see Crystal in Texas, they see Teresa. Where you at, girl? You're out in Minnesota. They'll share across the network. This is where that person is. Okay, well, you're supposed to kill that person. It kills that person. They act as autonomous units. You can knock down as many of you, you can shoot all the ones you want. They're still flying. It's just like the ants. They know what sustainable systems are. They know that when you have a system where the smallest component is sustainable, it will last forever. They know that when you have an engine that's developed over time, it becomes so failure resistant that it almost never fails. So they understand this. It's a good thing that humans are programmable, but we have to control the data that goes in these humans' minds, right? More and more people are not watching their televisions, which is a great thing. But what are we doing to engage our friends, right? What are we doing to engage our family? What are we doing to continue the conversation? We have to continue to push the limits of their brain activity in these new ideas and these modelers, because that's what these people are. Venus Project, Open World, Zeitgeist Movement, Ubuntu. They're modelers. They're looking at the check engine light. They're not fixing the check engine light. They're saying this system is unsustainable, it doesn't work. So let's take the things that work from this system and let's build something new. And there's nothing wrong with that. The only thing wrong with that is it doesn't allow for billionaires to make billions and billions and billions from all the resources of this planet. Now, I think they can make something. You know, there could be a place for capitalism on top of the bare necessities that keep humans from being violent. But I think that's how we have to talk. I think that's how we have to talk. I think we have to stop talking in ways that invoke that tribalism and explain it in a way. You know, like I said, I was going back and forth with him. He was like, yeah, but, you know, we're African American. He didn't say that, but I know what he was saying. He was kind of saying along that. I was like, but do you realize that your whole system is based on what the colonizers gave you? Your whole system is based in what your slave masters gave you. This idea that you're supposed to rob people and take what they have and build a society on that. All of that, none of that is based in who and what you are. You know, so even people who are like fighting the power, they think they are. They're fighting the power with what the power brainwashed them to do, which is why it doesn't work. We have to get past these ideologies and these isms that aren't based in anything but humanity. All right, what we got? We are complicit with the corrupt government system and the elites by not stopping them. And if we don't stop them, then we deserve what we get. Brother Joe, telling the truth. We do. We do. So I was telling Harsh last night, Joe, I don't get to live forever. I have no interest in living forever, you know, and I'm in it to win it, whatever it is. And if it's just talking videos till they find some excuse to throw me in prison or shoot me or poison me, okay, then that's fine. I'm good with that. But I'm not here to collect all the asteroid dust I can. I'm not here to build up a retirement. I'm not here to build up a savings and help the people closest to me out and you don't get nothing. My brain is too late. Like, I've already seen the light. I've already seen that we can do better. And now it is my obligation, it is my requirement to make sure that I always do anything I can in my life and anybody else's life to get there. I have an obligation to all my brothers and sisters, even the ones that hate me, all of them. It's my obligation, because just because I lucked up and maybe I had some birth privilege, maybe I saw the right thing, I worked in the right place, and brain privilege, DNA privilege. I didn't have that psycho, the warrior gene kicking in. It's my obligation to make sure I do everything I can to not consent to the system. What you're saying, Brother Joe, we can't consent to this. Every way possible, in your own scale, your own way. It's not a competition. Don't judge other people for what they're doing, but in every way, you have to be an autonomous unit. That's a sustainable system. the love revolution, it has to be sustainable. The compassion revolution, it has to be sustainable. And it's not sustainable if you sit here and you let this brown dude with the bald head tell you what to do. That's not sustainable. It's only sustainable if you think about it yourself and it makes sense to you. And you come up with, oh, we need to do this and that and that and that. And then you share back with me and others, and we move forward on that. But if we have single points of failure in people or leaders, it's not going to work. We got to be smart as the weapons maker making the drones. We all have to not be consenting in our own ways, in our own lives, how it works. Like this shirt, I think this shirt might be, I had this shirt about 15, 20 years. Somebody gave it to me. It's actually made in China. Might have been made on slave labor. Got a little dragon right here. Love this shirt. One of my favorite shirts. I know that doesn't fit right, kind of hanging off of me a little bit. Got a little spot. You can see the hanger marks. I don't need to buy another one. It's still a shirt. I got a sewing kit. I can fix it. I can sew it. And in my way, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not saying that's what you got to do. I ran into a brother had 3 shirts. Like I said, he inspired me. Young cat in his 20s. I think he's in his 20s. How old is Akil, brother? Anyway, we got to do our own things our own ways. Oh, that's a big word, brother UG. I can't even pronounce that. I'm not even gonna try. There's definitely a difference between an elitist dictatorship and egalitarian democracy. Brother Patrick, absolutely. Absolutely. And the differences in elitist dictatorship and egalitarian democracy. Elitist dictatorship, think about this. I think probably almost every government that ever has existed it was an elitist dictatorship. I think they called it different things. I think they gave it a different ism, and very few were egalitarian democracies. Because I think when you have an egalitarian democracy, you have people who are more prone to freedom. They're more prone to liberty and leaving each other alone. They're more prone to working together, just based in the word democracy alone, and egalitarian, right? They're not people who get a bunch of guns and weapons and gang up against someone. Like, I'll go further with that. But if you have an elitist dictatorship, they are prone to violence, just based on the words alone, elitist and dictatorship. They're willing to use force to get what they want. Like I was having a discussion with my other brother while I was down there this weekend. And he said, yeah, but wicked people will never go away. Wicked people will always be here. So that might be true. That might be possible. But and if you listen to some of the psychologists, the neuroscientists, they'll agree. Some of them do agree that there is a genetic component that no matter what you do, that person is always going to do that. Brain damage, this isn't connecting, the neurons aren't doing what they're supposed to. They're always going to have that. But the reality is there's still the possibility in the future that that'll go away, because there's that transgenerational epigenetics that changes genes over time, that after generations and generations of abundance, it might go away. Bonobos being the example, right? There should be psychopathic bonobos if that was a permanent condition. But in the meantime, why are wicked people so dangerous if nobody's willing to support them, right? In order for a wicked person to do some damage, you got to have people. There's a mosquito stalking me. I know, I should let it live, huh? No, I missed him anyway. I'm not gonna let him live. Wicked people will always be there. But if they don't have the power, what does it matter? Governments, like governments can be there. I'm not about taking down the American government. That's stupid. Why would you say anything dumb like that? But if the American government doesn't have a military, who can it hurt? Who can it invade? Wicked people might be there for a while. It might be that we got to stay in these government models for the distance, for a bit. But if they don't have the ability to hurt anybody, then they have to start moving more toward, they have to solve their problems a different way. Democracy. Right? Just as we can be involved in programs, so can government. But we have to take away their tools of violence. We have to take away their ability to not use their brains to solve problems and use their guns and their weapons. You know, so wicked people will always be there. But if you're not willing to stand next to the wicked person and go rob your neighbor and steal what they got, what power does that wicked person have? Nothing. So we have to stop standing with groups that believe in that Cro-Magnon. Well, it's not even Cro-Magnon. What is it called? The reptilian brain, that reptilian violent way. That's why I'm not a Democrat nor a Republican. That's why I'm not in any political party at the moment. I need to see some ideas that show that the people who run your party actually have evolved brains in their head and they understand these concepts. They're not leading me, and so I don't want any affiliation or association with them. You know, just as the wicked people, it's not just standing with them to go rob your neighbor. It's working for them. Using them, investing in their companies to save up for your retirement. Think about that. It's not just the soldiers, it's the people who support the companies that are holding this whole thing up too. Because we're conditioned to Darwinian logic. That we must compete and accumulate more than the next person. Yes, Plemmy K, that's exactly what we are. We're brainwashed to do that. But the great thing about it is we can brainwash the other way. That's what the power of Hollywood. I got a lot of friends in Hollywood. Sometimes in entertainment, I talk bad about Hollywood, but imagine what we could do with it. Like, it's not about taking down these things. It's about co-opting them and using them for something positive. I agree. Oh, this is a nice living room. I think I'll just have it. Exactly, Teresa. Somebody comes in your house like, oh, okay, you know, I like this. I think I'm going to go ahead and take it. And go and talk to Boo Boo and Tink Tink and Tyrone down the road. They get together, get some guns and come take what you have. And that is not the mindset of anybody who should be leading you anywhere. And if you have a leader that actually displays that level of brainic inactivity in the compassion zones and the love zones, high activity in the aggression area, you shouldn't be cheering for them. And that's why I said people get mad at me. I love that. Somebody unfriended me the other day. I said, but you're putting Obama stuff on my feed. Obama kills people. You know, some people say, oh, you know, you must like Trump. Trump kills people. Now, mind you, I give the politicians a little more space and room than I do a person who would walk in your house and kill you, because we don't really know what happens in Washington. We really don't know what, you know, force and power is brought to bear. We don't know how these things are bought. And besides the fact, the government's what we have to work with. Like, I don't like politics. I don't even know who these people are, half of them. But the fact of the matter is, they actually run everything. And at a certain point in time, once we all deal with our own house and we get our own little sustainable systems happening and we all become well-rounded again and we stop being flat people, flat earthers, at that point, we have to utilize our government to change things in a peaceful way. You know, but it takes numbers. And so government's a little different. Like, you know, when I talk about presidents, I say Obama, I say Trump. I'm not talking about the person and the personality and the things they do. We don't know if they're making any of their own decisions anyway. Let me see. Those who do learn history are doomed to sit back and watch it repeat itself. Exactly, Crystal. And when we see this happening time and time again, we have that obligation to step up and speak about it. I think that's the only thing that'll bring about any sort of change. As a result of the true nature of our technology, we now exist in an abundance reality. By many, but many still subscribe to the Malthusian philosophy. Exactly, brother UG, because they're brainwashed. They're brainwashed to do that and believe that. And the only way we can save our family and friends is we got to pull them out. That's the only way. The only way is we got to pull them out with respect. Like, we can't be, we can't be ignorant about it, right? You have to give people the data and then let them swallow it in their own times. You know, I walk away. Anytime somebody wants to go and do hate Trump fest, I just walk away from the conversation. I'm just not interested. You know, people send me stuff. They want me to be upset. I'm not upset because, first of all, I already know that he's doing what the other side does, and the other side's just mad because they're not him. Why do we want to talk about that? It shouldn't even be in the news. None of this stuff, because none of it's important. Zero. You know, none of that's important. Walmart applied for the Walmart applied for the patent to make bee drones. See, Terry, now scaring the hell out of me. And they're going to do it. They got the money to do it. They can make the bee drones. They're getting ready. And oh, Black Mirror had a great episode of that. If y'all watch the episodes of bees in the Black Mirror, all of the little robotic bees, they're just mini drones. You can program to do anything that you want them to do. You can program to feed people. You can program to starve people. You can program to pollinate crops. You can pollinate. You can program to kill people and land in their soup and drop poison. You know, these are dangerous technologies that we shouldn't even let them be flirting with. But like I posted the other day, I was talking about, Brother Terry, patents. Patents shouldn't even exist. Human technological evolution came to a grinding halt when we made patents. Because we always, like, as long as we've been here, all we've done is take things somebody else worked on and made it better. There was no patent to stop us. And so that way, everything was evolving fast, whether it was the wheel, the stick, the spear, the bow, the arrow, you know, a baby carriage, a chair, a table, everything. We look at it and we figure out how to make it better. Everything moved fast. Right now, we would be on the planet Melmac 5 in another galaxy if we didn't have patents. Patents completely have to go away. Like, it's not even a discussion anymore. It should be obvious to everybody the way patents lock up so that they hold back technology. People die today right now because we have patents. People, whole tribes and nations, entire groups of people have gone extinct because we allow these patent things to exist. There should be no patents. If you make something, it is 7 other billion people's job to figure out how to take that thing you made and make it better. But that's the difference between a society that's a collective and a society that has its core foundation based in holding back a species, killing people, anything for greed to make more. There should be no patent law. Patents are war. Patents are the most horrible thing on this planet. Patent on medicine. Thank you, Plymouth. Patent on medicine. Like, think about that. Like, no, nobody else can make it. Only I can make it. Instead of, you know what, I made this medicine, it works for this, let's roll it out. And every pharmaceutical company starts cranking it out. So everybody around the world immediately has that medicine. So nobody else dies from that condition. That's called being human. But we're not. We used to always be a collective, and then somebody invented money, and now we're not. It's always tied back to greed. If you don't like greed, you can't like money. You can't put the two together because the two go together like peas and carrots. Jenny, peas and carrots. Jenny, that's my, who is that? Bubblegum Shrimp. Who is that? Forrest Gump. You know, they go together like peas and carrots. I sit there all day, I laugh at it, be like, yeah, well, you say money's going to go, money shouldn't go away, but greed is bad. Greed is horrible. Greed is a evolutionary requirement in a world where money exists, period. Don't worry about it. Money's going away. The difference is it's going to go away in the billionaires' time, not in our time. Local positivism. Yes, I like that word, Sister Christine. Is not taught any longer. Most have no idea how to find the premise of a proposition or to make a valid response. No reasoning at all. This was desperately excluded from Rockefeller public education system. Yes, Christine, and why is that? Isn't that because the education system was designed, was it Prussia, or where did it come from? Germany? It came from somewhere where the whole idea was to take people and make them just clones for the state, cheer the state, praise the state, take away reason. Like, look at the right and the left. You see any reasoning happening? There's some, don't get me wrong, there's some. It's not a lot. And it's selective reasoning, right? They'll reason the things that they want. You know, it's like conditional love. There's no such thing as conditional love. There's either love or there isn't. Because when you conditionally love, you know, that means hate lives in your heart. Hate is okay. Hate is great when needed, right? Hate is okay if it's that person. Hate ain't okay if it's my kids, but hate is good when it's that person's kids, right? There's no conditional love. There is no, oh, well, we just got to help the African Americans. That's hate. We got to help the white folk. That's hate. Not only is it stupid, because race doesn't exist, but that's hate. You're actually allowing hate to exist as a thing in this system that you call love. There is no conditional love. It's just hate and love. You either got that or you don't. You know, but the education system is based on making hate okay, making hate great, making hate great, because we're Americans. We got to think about America first. That is no different to me. I'm a Russian bot. That's what they call me. Well, Brother Joe, they call you a Russian bot. That means you're doing the right things. That means that you're actually trying to change things. I'm late, Peace, y'all. Late, Jay. Jay, don't jump in no cactus, brother. I heard that last night. Zeitgeist takes a system approach and a scientific method coupled with a rational train of thought in order to arrive at an appropriate conclusions. Right, brother UG? But the problem is you talk too smart. It's obvious you read books, right? It's obvious you know what a system is, and people don't. I think you have to do modeling, perhaps, maybe to really understand the damages of a single point of failure. I think you have to understand those things a bit deeper, like, you know, coming from a software engineering background, like you deny any sort of program that's unsustainable. You don't let anyone develop it. Why? Because if they have bad code in there, half the time, even if it doesn't get a syntax error and actually work and the check engine light comes on down the road, you can create an infinite loop. And perhaps are we stuck in an infinite loop? I think we have to think about these things at a systematic level. If at the base localism, we aren't sustainable, if at the base local level, we aren't building sustainable humans, then we're not building a sustainable system. And the thing that we're working on, we shouldn't be working on. I think the check engine light came on in the world, and every day you turn on the news, that's all you see is it's a red flashing check engine. Where's my check engine light? Every day you turn on the news. That's why I kind of barely looked at it. I try to look at stuff here and there, but you can only take in so much of the drama and nonsense. The check engine light is on. Every day you turn on the news and it's flashing. It's letting you know that, hey, we need service. And to me, brother UG, it's just not logical or intellectual to talk to someone and them saying, no, we don't need service. Everything is okay. Let's stay the course. Let's keep it going. I think that's a bad idea. What you resist persists. Exactly. Thank you, Brother Jay. You coded it right there. They code people to resist it and it doesn't go away. You fight love with hate. You don't fight. You fight hate with love. You don't fight hate with hate. Fill your own cup, though. There's no honor. Fill your own cup. There's no honor in ring a martyr. See, Brother Jay, I'm not sure if I missed a word or two. Let me go down to the last couple comments. I'm going to get out of here. Trump is overall corrupt, nationalist, despicable, but I appreciate what I saw in Trump-Putin presser yesterday. Yeah, well, you know, he had a good quote, didn't he, Brother UG? What did he say? I don't believe it. But he had a good quote. He had a good quote. The Democrats and Republicans, they talk good. They do. They talk good. He said something about he didn't want to risk war. He didn't want to risk peace for politics. That's why he was nice to Putin. I mean, I'm not sure I believe that. I mean, all I see is I see him bombing, and I just see him doing what Obama did, bombing, killing, murdering people. So hopefully that could be a change in him. Maybe it's a selective statement. I don't know. I'm glad that Russia and America get along. This is a good thing. Forcing a president to want to fight with Russia, that's stupid. But again, like Christine said, there's no reasoning in the education. They don't teach reasoning. Some teachers do, but the Department of Education broke everything intentionally. By choosing to not live by the narrative that is dictated to us, we choose the path of sovereignty. Exactly, Jeannie, and we need to talk about sovereignty more. People need to master their own lives. You need to have your own sovereignty. You need to go your own way. You know, the laws exist really because people follow them. People believe in them. They believe in their government. They believe in their slave masters and their owners, and they keep doing it. They have the concepts of these people they say they hate, they live it out, and they try to fight it. They say greed is bad, but they love money and they try to collect as much as they can and shove it in their bank account. And they don't understand that they're propping up a system that they say that they hate. Critical thought. No, things are not better, Teresa. They're worse because we destroy the check engine light. When it comes on, we bomb the country that has it. We like Yemen, we starve the people out so the light goes away so it doesn't warn the people that the system needs work. They smash native technology. Exactly, Teresa. Not only they didn't smash native technology, they burned it up. They burned up the history. They burned up everything. They killed the people because they needed to march out their system. Patents used to be 14 years, now they're 75, brother Gown. And like that's the insane direction we're going. It's not getting better. Right now they have control of everything. The billionaires control everything because all the poor people are fighting, the majority of them. And as long as they do that, the system is going to do what the system is supposed to do. It's going to make it harder and harder for us to evolve. So not only did the first patents, pretty much slow down human evolution and technology, but it's bringing it to a grinding halt. So more people can collect as much as they can with these patents or working for companies that have patents. Okay, Prussia. Thank you, Brother Jay. It was Prussia. That's where the school system came from. I don't believe in that school system. I think that we need to delete the school system. I think the kids should be running out in the woods being taught how to use knives and this, that, and the other. I think they should be shown the latest technologies and told their job is to make them better. I think kids should share everything. Everything. They should be equal. You don't have kids who grow up with little and it get turned into hate. Right? That's how it gets turned into hate and how they target your community or your group because you tend to have more than what they have. And they see a lot of that ignorance on television. The Malthusian trap. Yes, Brother UG. It was here also, Rockefeller and Baptiste minister. We do not want thinkers, we want workers. Exactly, Christine. They just want people to run the machines. They want people smart enough to run the machines, like George Carlin said, but dumb enough to not realize that they're slaves, that they're just workers. Democracy is impossible in a monetary society. Exactly, Crystal. But they lie to people. They tell people that it's a democracy. We're not a democracy, number one. Number one, we're a republic, and we don't have any democracy. We don't have an election system that works, and it's all cronyism. Cronyism's in front of everything. How do you have a world where a couple thousand people, billionaires or people beyond them, actually run everything, and they let you orchestrate your own government? They let you orchestrate your democracy? Like, none of that makes any sense. It's always crony, but we have very naive, gullible people that believe it. Why didn't they turn into the servers? Why didn't they turn into the servers? I'm sorry, Stephanie. I'm not sure where you're going with that one. That was probably a later conversation. I'm trying to get down in the comments. Our true freedom lies within realizing a sovereign state of mind. Exactly, Jeannie. And we have to be free. And it's freeing to be free. It's freeing. When you realize that you are a sovereign creature, that you need to go your own way, do your own thing, that you're not subject to this, then you can pick and choose what you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to follow. I don't follow all the laws. Laws ain't for me. They don't own me. They don't own me. And when I finally break a law where they feel they need to kill me, then they'll come kill me. They don't own me. They'll never control me. I will never willingly put on anybody's shackles. Forget you. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not that weak. As long as I live, I'm going to live free. And the minute they ban caffeine, it's on. Y'all come for me. You better bring the truck. You might need it. Destroyers of life. Yes, Sister Sandra, they are. They're waging war on nature. And they not only wage war on the sustainable nature surrounding us in the ecosystems, but they actually wage war on the model. They wage war on sustainable models because sustainable models don't allow for massive profits. Sustainable models don't allow for one anthill to be 80,000 feet tall, right? It's designed for everything to have a balance. Everything works the way it's supposed to, and it works together in a system. And billionaires, they got an 80,000 foot tall anthill. And so that's why it's done. They would want to collect as much as they can. Eating popcorn, watching the media and politicians' hysteria, priceless. We bomb more countries than Russia, IMHO, peace. with Russia is a good thing. Yes, peace with Russia is a phenomenal thing, right? And that's what we do because it's entertainment for people. They eat popcorn, they watch their media and their politicians, and they develop their fight for the next day at the office to go fight with their brother, their cousin, or whoever's at the office. And it's destroying us. It's destroying our planet. It's destroying the next generation because they think that this is politics. They think it's entertainment. They treat it like it's entertainment in a football game. And I think our goal, Nancy, I think our goal, sister, is just to, every time they want to act like it's politics, we don't let them be politics. We don't let them say that. It's not politics. This is you want to kill people and take what they have. This is murder. It's worldwide murder. And we have the internet now to prove it. We have the facts to prove it. We got the Smedley Butlers and we got the whistleblowers who come forward. We got the Snowdens. We know what this is now, you know, and we just have to tell them it is what it is. Hey, you can go to church every Sunday. Oh, go ahead, go to church. Come on home, set up your excuses for murder. I don't think that's gonna go well for you if you come back. Somebody sent me a friend request. Jesus sent me a friend request. That was pretty funny. I don't know who did that. I think Jesus is in Poland. He sent me a friend request. My friends are funny. It's like when they got rid of the exit polls when they did not match up, and how the system said people said the people voted. Right, Deborah, because the elections are always rigged. They've always rigged. Like, I think about it, Deborah, from a logical perspective. Do we actually think that America, which controls everybody's election almost all the damn time, America makes sure elections go the way they need them to? But so did France, and so did Italy, and so did everybody else. All the big billionaire elitist governments. They control every election that they can anywhere in the world to make sure it goes in their favor, to their interest. Do we actually think they would not control their own election? Like, just think about that for a minute. Think about it. Just, you know, people need to chew on that for a minute. They control every election in the world. And we got these people who can't connect the dots, and they're debating whether or not Russia tried to control America's election. America controls everybody's election. And somehow they think that they can vote that system out of being in place. Hey, you dumb is just stupid. All right, I'm not, be nice, be nice. Putin's body language yesterday was amazing. I didn't watch it, Ellen. I have no time for Putin and Trump. I'll do my best to avoid it. I didn't watch anything they said. I saw one quote on a news release I couldn't escape. I'm not interested. I'm not completely not interested at all, at all. It's not the problem. And if they won't ever, they're not allowed to actually talk about the problems. The check engine is light. The check engine light is on, and we have to fix it. And our fix, once again, starts in the mirror. But we always want to think about sustainable systems. Think about your life, the things you get into, you support. If they're not sustainable, if they're not based on a model of compassion, empathy, caring for other people, don't support it. Don't support it. I don't know what's happening in your country, but in my country, I'm talking about the Democrats and the Republicans. They are not based in empathy. They're not based in love. They're not based in critical thought. They're based in a model of the earth is flat. And just as ridiculous as you feel it is to laugh at the flat earthers who pick and choose what they want to say is true, what they believe, you pick and choose what you want to say and do and what is true. You cover up the check engine light instead of addressing the problem. And we just got to start dealing with the check engine light, y'all. We got to act like we care that this car is going to keep running because it's hot as hell. The climate's changing because the climate always changes. The kids are in the back of the car, and nothing good is going to happen to our kids if we don't actually fix the problem. The system's broken. It's not politics, it's just human rights. Anyway, listen, I got to go. Love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day.